What is up, guys? It's me. I'm back again from the grave. But I have great news, actually, about development of Project Yortusin that I'm super happy about, actually, because it has to be one of the hardest parts of the project of the game to do, in my opinion. Animating the cutscene, I got around like at least 95% done of the cutscene in originality. Just the last 5% of it is just nothing more than just filler content. God dang it, the microphone's lagging a bit, or it's just maybe sounds. Eh. I'll just get right into the news and stuff about what's been going on. I mean, the first cutscene that you see when opening up the game. Yes, it's kind of like that. But I mean, I've been trying to work on the cutscene and figure it out, but luckily now I've been able to work on it for a bit and get 95% of it done with the bit of filler so that I'm able to just I mean so that I'm uh sorry, just I mean I've just been working on it, and that's all that there is to it. I mean, I've just been playing around with it for a bit, and I think I figured out what needs to be done in order. I mean, I've gotten my gears in order on what I'm gonna do with this project. I'm gonna continue working on it, at least until I finish night one. If I don't feel satisfied enough, I can always just go back and redo the entire concepts of the game and just list this version that I'm working on off as a pre-build or alpha 1. Which, guys, you'll never believe this. The story of Project Yortusin, or those Knights at Yortusins. Sorry, just a little sick today. But luckily, my voice is a little better now. I mean, this morning it was just horrible. But luckily, I think that just just one thing at a time first. I mean, I would, I forgot again. Oh yeah, right. As it stands, there's already been way more than one version of the storyline of this game. As a matter of fact, it was originally a Minecraft map that I had been working on and polishing up for quite some time. Yeah, that's a little fun fact. You can actually go onto Schmortizencraft and find the Alpha 1 video. Sadly, there ain't no real footage of the pre-build. But just to let you guys know now, that was my favorite version of the storyline and the gameplay because it felt complete. It just felt nice, short and sweet and to the point of the storyline. Felt like it could easily be just continued in one way or another without any problems. And the storyline wasn't as vast as it was. Really, there was just 4 nights and a fifth night where you got a choice of which ending you really got. That was it pretty much. It's just that there were poorly and atrociously created phone calls. I mean, I just went off the top of my head without really any script at all when I was doing pre-build 1 and alpha 1. I mean, after I lost all of my Minecraft maps because I was working on Xbox 360 and in title update 10 or 11, yeah, it was that back far. It was literally back all the way that far. But I liked how the mobs worked. They were nice and you could manipulate them without any problems back then. Well, it wasn't that far. It was just that I hadn't bothered updating it. And I started working on it, and it took me like a couple of days to complete. Basically, it was all just one. You just selected a night, pushed a button, and it would essentially just set up the night, essentially. I mean, when the time comes, I'll just reveal the entire storyline for it for the pre-build, but just letting you guys know now, the wiring was a little bit complicated. And I thought, and somewhere along the line, I thought that there was a bug because I mean, I looked at the redstone wiring and thought that there was a bug, that there was an extra Yortusin animatronic somewhere in the mix on around night 4 or 5 that spawned in. I just thought that there was essentially two Yortusin mobs spawned, but I don't think that there really was. Maybe it was just that I was like, oh dear, I've probably screwed up. I need to change a bit of the phone calls. But this was as I was wiring, before I had any real gameplay complete. So pretty much I worked on the map, and pretty much around night 4, around night 3 or 4, whenever Rick became active. Yes, Rick, Cross, and Yortusin were, and Bob, I'll leave his name out, were already all in the map at the first point. I mean, we're still on pre-build map. So pretty much one bug that I still never got to really fix was the chair patch, because Rick would kind of get stuck and you couldn't on a specific chair block or just just stairs block, and you couldn't exactly get him to where he needed to go to complete the night successfully. I mean, the gameplay idea was very simple, but done with enough challenge so that it was still a short and sweet gameplay idea, but with still a bit of adrenaline. I mean, pretty much. Remember that office from the Horde or whatever it was? Yeah, there was no office, really. Well, there still was. It's just that instead of a window, there was just a main hall that went directly to the dining area. And there were less rooms in the pre-build. I mean, as soon as I was getting to the chair patch, I lost all of my maps. And I was so upset. I was so sad and upset because that was something that I felt was a legitimate accomplishment. Pretty much end of story, essentially. I mean, I think even back then I was really thinking on adding a couple extra nights and as such. Well, really, well, still the same two endings, but just adding a couple more nights and a couple more jokes in the mix. Even to that point, but I just got a little bit lazy, and then next thing I knew, I lost all my maps. Pretty much, pretty much like a week or two later, I decided that after I had successfully updated everything in Minecraft to a more recent version, still before elytras were implemented in Xbox 360 version, for all of you people who still can't place their finger on the time. Like, it was somewhere right on an update or two right before elytras were added. I think there was banners and armor stands. Yeah, there was definitely banners and armor stands at that point. Maybe it was an update or two before the elytra was added that I started development of the Alpha 1. It took me a couple days, and compared to the pre-build, I could see a much more vibrant color scheme. Just a more beautiful color scheme. Because I was working with more blocks. I had slime blocks, I had magma blocks, I had stuff like that to work with. It was like a new box of toys that I could play with to completely get my amusement out of. So then I pretty much so pretty much the night went like this. I mean, Alpha 1 was kind of it was around the exact same as where we are today with this with this click team version. Back then it was still called Those Nights at Yortusin's. Before the whole project, before it became really Project Yortusin, Those Nights at Yortusin's. I mean, I completely redid the phone call because you couldn't do as much as you did, and I figured out that the AI of the monsters and mobs were smarter. Like, they were way more intelligent. They could detect walls. So you couldn't do what needed to be done to properly complete a night the way it was anymore. So I had to change up the formula almost entirely. Still keeping just the bare essentials still somewhere in there. Just couldn't do what it was in the pre-build. Pretty much right then there was that whole thought about more than just two endings. And then there was the fact that there was a between night minigame. I'm still probably gonna add that in this click team version. But there was a minigame that where you pretty much went off to sleep because you stayed up at night, and pretty much, let's just say where the main character works in the storyline is a little bit is pretty tiring for the job that's kind of short that he works at. Still, you can tell that he must be getting pretty tired. So let's skip logic for a moment. Let's just skip all of the logic stones for a moment to just focus entirely on this dream minigame part. It was like you could get a variety, you could get a nice, delicious variety of different mechanics and mini games and different FNAF ideas put into one, essentially. I mean, the first one there was like a FNAF, kind of a FNAF 1 styled one that felt like if it, circus, imagine circuit gallery control room or whatever it's called. God, it's been a minute or two since I've looked up anything on sister location, really. I just remember the whole part about, oh, you can get killed by stuff and you trap and you crawl through vents. That's just my bare memory of this game, of Sister Location as a whole. Well, almost. I can remember the main stuff clearly. It's just some of the less important details that I keep on forgetting. But you got Circus Gallery Control module, and you combine it with imagine if the FNAF 2 window had if the FNAF 2 hallway was just a window. And then there was the FNAF 1 doors to the left and right of you, but oh surprise, you had to be up close to close them, like FNAF 4. Yeah, that was kind of what this minigame felt like. Pretty much, I decided to finally leap ahead and just take advantage of this smarter AI. Cause it could run to exactly the first opening that it sees and attempts to kill you from there. So pretty much, if you shut a door, it'll try going to the other side. So I took advantage of that level of intelligence in the entities in the game in Minecraft, and decided to just go ahead and work from the ground up. You pretty much had to survive for a minute. End of story, really. So there you have it, guys. Pretty much just a basic run through of the storyline of the original timeline of where this idea came from. But trust me, my next FNAF related project that isn't related to Project Yortusin will be I've had an idea on that specific project for around a year, let's just say that. And I've been kind of reworking it in my mind. But where development is, we're about at like just finished the cutscene and still at just kind of the beginning of the night. I mean, guys, there still might be a room or two extra and a mechanic or two added into Project Yortusin because because I can do all sorts of new things that I wasn't able to do. So yeah, it might not be so different from just something that I might tell you guys in the future. But trust me, guys, once I finish Night 2 and release the Night 2 demo, trust me, guys, I've got a lot of different crap planned for Night 2. And I'll probably change up the formula almost entirely. Because I want to keep this game a little more interesting than Sister Location. I mean, but then again, guys, this is about all that I have the time to share with you guys. Let me know if you want to know anything else about these two previous versions of the map. I will probably find a way. I'll probably comment down below on a link to, or I might just add in the description a link to the original video for Alpha 1. I mean, the audio might be kind of crap, but I don't know, you guys just go check it out for yourselves. Because you might like it, you might have, but then again, it's probably going to be very boring in some spots. Because I was trying to get all of the audio through, and back then, my voice acting, my phone calls were just me stuttering a whole lot. And giving you little bits of information in between all that stuttering. And eventually, around 8 minutes later, I'm like, oh, have fun, good night, bye. Or something like that. So you guys might, so just a word, just a word. Now, you guys might want to skip around that video. Okay? I might link it in the Game Jolt page if you guys really request it. So that you guys on Game Jolt can enjoy watching the original version. Or I might just hide the video. I'm probably gonna keep it to myself a little longer, just until I release night one, so that not everything's just completely spoiled for you guys. Because I want this storyline to feel like it's something that just directly came out of my head. But this is a storyline that's pretty much been in production and polished over and over again for a couple of months now. That's just the bare information. But if you enjoyed this live stream or podcast, developer podcast, like a developer news update thing, be sure to hit that like button. No need to comment. Okay, you can if you want. It's just that I don't really care about these devcasts. It's just me giving you guys information. That's it. It's not it's not anything really that fun. It's just basic listen to new information and essentially news on the game. So that it's much better than just doing a devlog, in my opinion, because I'm able to actually talk to you guys. You guys get to hear my actual voice, and I'm not missing entire sections of the news update and have to just constantly remember again and just forget and just stutter over things and forget it, and then mispronunciation, misspelling, miss whatever, just whatever grammar errors. It's just a little bit easier for me to do these live dev casts than to just write it all in a devlog. I mean, I know you guys will probably hear the devlog. We'll probably find the devlog a little bit easier. It's just that it's easier for me to do these live devcasts. So subscribe to Yortusin Schmortusin channel to stay up to date on future funny videos, hopefully, stuff like that. So bye guys.